Hello!
Hello! Hello, everyone. Okay, so we were at the laundromat the other day. It was right when the tropical storm was hitting or whatever, and so it started drizzling a little bit. And my mom went to go get tubs so that we could put some clothes in because our washer broke, so we were going to the laundromat. So we're just sitting there, and all of a sudden it starts pouring, sheets
flooding.
of rain. And so we're just sitting there oh my gosh, and there's two other guys in the laundromat
and
with
then
us,
a lady.
and the lady that worked there. She was like, oh my gosh, and she's freaking out, starts to freak out, and then she's like, it's flooding again, and we're like, again? And so she takes all these towels from the back and starts shoving them into the door.
And then the windows start flooding.
And the bottom of the window start flooding. She locks us in, and she keeps calling, I guess, her boss or someone, and she's like, nobody's getting in, and nobody's getting out. And we're just like, oh my gosh. Because our mom was going to get us stuff.
Subway.
Yeah, she was getting Subway for Deborah because she hadn't eaten. And so then the lady kept shoving the towels under the door. And then this guy was sitting on the other side of the laundromat, and he was just staring out, out into the parking lot. He had already given up hope. We're gonna die. There's no hope for us.
And then there was another guy who was some tall, lanky man in a polo shirt and Bermuda shorts. So he was reading a magazine, and this was his expression. He was like,
for an hour.
For an hour. And then I'm putting clothes in the dryer, and I see him walk to the corner of the back, the back corner of the store, and he just puts his hand over his ears and just goes, just stands there.
He was pacing up and down, then just goes, freaking out.
I felt so
And we're
bad.
just oh my gosh, we're stuck in here. We're held hostage with a bunch of crazy people. So then she called, the person who worked here called somebody again, and it's we're not letting anybody in. We're not letting anybody out. And we're okay. And so finally it had died down, and our stuff was still in the dryers. We're stuck anyway. Our mom comes up, and she locked the door. And so I called my mom, and I'm you're not allowed to come in.
You're not gonna get in here.
You can't. And so and we explained this, what's happening to her. So then I was well, go get you something to drink, because she had come straight there. I was go, you do your thing, and then come back, and I'm sure we'll be able to open it. And then while she was gone, somebody in a white car pulled up and was gonna do their laundry because the water had it had died down, it wasn't storming any longer. He went to the trunk, and she yelled at him, opened the door, yelled at him, and was hey sir, come here. And so he went over there. She opened the door, held the door open to tell them that she had shut the door and locked it because it was flooding in it, and you couldn't come in because she had shut the door, but she was holding the door open to tell this guy. And so he was just okay, so he went back in his car, just sat there for 20 more minutes, and then some guy he came up, and she let him in, and then he did his laundry, and then he just walked back out, and we're just sitting here okay. So my mom comes back in, or drives back up. The two people in the thing are still freaking out, talking to themselves, pacing around the store. Then she's just sitting on the counter right in front of the door, just watching the people wanting to get in.
Okay,
I don't know.
My mom had Subway because I hadn't eaten all day, and I'd been there since 9:30 in the morning, and it was 3 something, and I was starving, and I hadn't taken a shower all day either, and it was really hot in there, so I was all sweaty. I was sweaty, and I was hungry, and I was tired, and I just wanted to go home. And so I was Snapchatting my friends during all of this, and I was I'm gonna go take a shower in the super loader. And then
we were we're gonna die in here, we need
we're
a strategy out.
And so we got they have little carts to carry your clothes in, so I got in one, and I used it as a boat. It was just crazy. And so my mom is sitting in the car. She's literally 40 feet away from us with Subway,
and she's not allowed in.
Her in, and I'm internally screaming at the lady. And I walked by, I went to go get her a water, and then I just hear her talking to the guy who was looking dramatically out the window, and she was it's a storm out there. It was yeah, it's storming so hard, I don't know when it's gonna stop.
Okay, so she finally opened the door because this guy who was in there, the one who was freaking out and talking to himself, finally was ready to leave, and she's okay, well, if you're going out, you're not coming back. And so he's like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to face the storm. And we're all like, this is way too dramatic. And so he takes his thing and he leaves, and then she just decides to like unlock the store and like let everybody in and out now. And so then my mom came in with the subway, and the lady who works there walked up to my mom and's like, oh, you could have come anytime. I know you. You could have come in anytime. What?
Previously, when I was there by myself, and she has 2 TVs in that store, and one like on either side of the store, and her like desk is by one of them, and it was like me, her, and then a lady and her son or daughter. Either a crime show or like it was something really inappropriate. The mom was like, can you change this because my kid is around, like there are children around, and then the lady doesn't say yes or no, she just goes, you know, I like this show. I really like this show. And she doesn't change it.
So yeah, that is our story of being held hostage by the crazy laundry laundromat lady. Okay, so that's it. We made a video on Deborah's channel if you want to go check that out. And I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!